done. BYU would win 55-7. They would go on to win the Holiday Bowl, and Young would finish second in the Heisman vote. All right, let's look at 2004 when Urban Meyer and the number 5 Utah team hosted BYU, a chance to secure a BCS berth. Alex Smith ran for a touchdown. He threw for another. And Utah would win 52-21, totally blow them out to become the first non-Power 5 school to reach a BCS game. They'd go on to beat Pittsburgh in the Fiesta Bowl, and that was the epic celebration. Okay, now to 2006. BYU was the number 21 team visiting Utah, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. It's 14-0, and Eric Weddle goes to offense and passes to Brett Castile. Then late in the fourth, Brett Ratcliffe finding Castile across the middle, taking it down for that 19-yard TD. Utah taking a 31-27 lead, but BYU trying to get in there, catch up. Senior quarterback John Beck taking the snap. Can't find anyone. Watch him. Roll to the right, roll to the left. Going, gets a big hit, but finds his guy, Johnny Harline. And BYU would walk it off with a 33-31 win. An absolutely incredible ending right there. And in 2010, number 23 Utah hosting BYU. Both teams going at it pregame. Fourth quarter, Utah down 16-10. Matt Asiata taking the toss, barrels into the end zone. Utah up 1 point. So 4 seconds left. BYU with a chance, but Micah Payne's 42-yarder stuffed by Brandon Burton. Burton's block wins it for Utah 17-16 in their final Mountain West game before moving to the Pac-12. And it's Utah's current 9-game win streak. Started right there. We now welcome in NFL Hall of Famer and former BYU quarterback Steve Young to help us talk about this upcoming game. So, Steve, for those of us that don't understand, how deep does this rivalry go?
I'm trying to think about it now. Okay, look, let's say there's a really tight family, big family, tight family, and that some are very devout religious, some are very devout not religious, some are older, some are younger, and that every year there's this time when they all have to come together and battle, and whoever wins gets to kind of like, stick it to the other part of the family the rest of the year. That's the depth of this. This goes back 60, 70, 80 years. In the first 25 years, Utah just ran over BYU. Then all of a sudden it switched. But BYU got the quarterbacks and Gifford Nielsen, Mark Wilson, Jim McMahon, and myself and others. And all of a sudden it was our 25 years where we just ran over Utah. And that was I was like, oh, we ran the state. Then it kind of was tough for the 90s and 2000s. It was back and forth. It was the interstate rivalry that you talk about all the time. And then lately it's been all Utah. So it is, whatever happens with the Utah-BYU game, it cuts deep. And I don't know how else to talk about it, but it's not a flesh wound. It cuts deep every year.
Wow. So you can tell us from your experience, do you have the most vivid memory that still sticks with you to this day from one of those games?
Well, I've got one, too. The same game. It was a really cold game up in Utah my junior year, and Fred Whittingham, Kyle Whittingham's Utah coach's dad, was our defensive coordinator. He was out on the Utah field kind of walking through warm-ups, and someone threw a frozen banana out and hit Fred in the head and knocked him out. And, and then next time we went up to Utah, we pulled the buses up, and the students, this is back in the day, there's no security, they were trying to tip the bus over, and I thought they were going to pull it off before we got off. So it's not been an easy thing to go up to Utah, but I remember winning the game my senior year to go to the Holiday Bowl, just light snow, it was just kind of coming down, quiet, gray. It was one of those beautiful fall football afternoons. I remember walking off the field after just like, this is the greatest moment of my life. We just beat Utah, we're going to the Holiday Bowl, and I still remember that vividly.
That's incredible. Yeah, fans let's keep the bananas out of it. Let's just keep it to
no
the
bananas,
game.
No one tipping over the buses.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it within the family now.
Right, but that's so college football, and it is so this BYU-Utah rivalry. So you played in some big games, Super Bowls, playoffs, everything. Where do these games against Utah stack up in the course of your career when you look back?
They're always big because they're so personal, and they always kind of defined. I had to replace Jim McMahon, who went to the Holiday Bowl every year, was a champion every year, beat Utah every year. And those are the things that, if you're at BYU, did you win the conference and did you beat Utah? I mean, you think those games aren't big? That's what they want. That's one of the two questions they want to know every year.
So I think I know the answer to this, but I have to ask it anyways. Who are you taking on Saturday?
Look, we're going to end the drought. Look, Utah was afraid last year because they were afraid of Zach Wilson. Now that Zach's gone, they're going to play us again. I still pick BYU.
All right. Sticking with the fam, the big religious and unreligious fam coming together, and it's sure to be a big party. Steve Young, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Where have all the great nicknames gone? Like Sam Bam Cunningham. Not Sam the Bam, just Sam Bam. Sam Cunningham made the name for himself with the way he played. If there's a hole, run through it. If you can score a touchdown, bam. That's what he said. Cunningham starred on both coasts. First at USC, 1973 Rose Bowl. He ran for 4 touchdowns, was the game MVP. The Trojans were the national champions. Then drafted by the Patriots, Cunningham was a Pro Bowler, a fan favorite, and is still the franchise's all-time leading rusher. Then there's the USC at Alabama game in 1970. Cunningham, 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, 135 yards on 12 carries. John McKay's Trojans won going away against Bear Bryant's Crimson Tide. Given the number of black players on USC's team, many point to that game as the catalyst for the integration of college football in the South. Cunningham's thoughts later, football in the Deep South was changed forever from that moment on. The older brother of the former NFL quarterback, Randall Cunningham. Sam Cunningham was 71 years old.